if it is important for human beings to continue to exist, then everyone really needs to be concerned about biodiversity conservation and loss of habitat and loss of roaming areas for big mammals and loss of pollinators and loss of the plants that the pollinators need. All this stuff is spinning out of control rapidly, and meanwhile people are just watching their television sets and their handheld devices and playing games, and while the whole thing's unraveling.
We unfortunately have chosen only one denominator to deal with. How we deal or how we do transactions, that's money. People have their forests and their aspirations are changing, and their value structure is no more in line with their tradition. Then you see rapid degradation of the resources, and that actually has made this situation really, really complex. That unless there is a monetary gain, humans don't get motivated to do anything.
I'm a big proponent of sustainable wild collection because I see that as a way that people, consumers, if they're educated, can support companies who get it to help protect some of the last remaining pristine ecosystems in the world. Some of the theories for biodiversity conservation are that local people are part of the solution, so they have to be stewards of the ecosystems to prevent conversion of natural ecosystems to other uses.
If you harvest from natural habitats, you're giving people an incentive to keep that wild land as a natural habitat.
We should use that to our advantage for conservation. That's the only thing we can do. And I think the FairWild project is, again, as I mentioned, it's one of the sensible market-based mechanism. It is very sensible to do that and look at opportunities in the market and use that as a tool for conservation or social objectives.
You make the tree more valuable alive and able to bear fruit and provide an income for a community for, potentially hundreds of years in some of these big trees if it's done well. Yeah. So you bring, conservation in through commerce and protect the forest that way.
Of course, companies are not operating in a vacuum, so then it comes down to all of us as the public, as consumers, to again be willing to prioritize and also pay for that choice.
I mean, even if you're just collecting what people consider to be a weed, dandelions. Well, dandelions aren't the only thing that grow in a diverse meadow in Poland. All kinds of plants grow there. So if you can protect a dandelion collection area, you're protecting 100 other species, and you're providing a livelihood for local people there.
And this is the point of conservation again. If people don't take pride in saving forests, if they cannot appreciate the value, I think the day will not be far that we will lose a major chunk of biodiversity in this landscape.